Okay, next we're going to look at the overhead budget. The overhead budget is going to be based on my direct overhead rate, my predetermined overhead rate that I use to allocate cost. So let's see, this is Patrick Incorporated again. Let's see what they use, because remember, you can use more than one type of activity base to allocate overhead cost. So in this case, Patrick Incorporated makes industrial solvents. The budgeted direct labor hours for the first 3 months are as follows, which again, we just actually found over here, these numbers here. And it says that the variable overhead is 70 cents per direct labor hour. Fixed overhead is $27.50. So I'm going to separate those out. I'm going to first figure out my total variable overhead budget. And then I'm going to add my fixed overhead so I can find my total overhead. And this will be fixed and variable. Since this is based on direct labor hours, let's make my columns. I'm not going to retype it. There's no need to. Just go back over here and hit January, February, March total. And I can also put in my, this is going to be my direct labor hours, since that's what, oops, sorry, put this down. I'm going to have my direct labor hours up top. And then I'm going to have my predetermined overhead rate, which in this case is given 0.7 per direct labor hour. I can fill out my direct labor hours. I'm going to go just make it easier on myself. I'm going to take it from the direct labor hours budget. And then once I do that, I can then multiply down my direct labor hours times my predetermined overhead rate to get my total variable overhead. And then it goes on to say that fixed overhead is $27.50 per month. So that's going to stay the same, $27.50 for all 3 months. I'm going to total that. The totals column. And then I can get my total budgeted overhead by taking my total variable overhead plus my budgeted fixed overhead. So now I have my overhead budget. Now I have my overhead budget, and that's it for the overhead budget.